We live.
All right, good night, everybody, and thank you for tuning into Peaches and Dream podcast on this wonderful Sunday night. The weather here in Charlotte. Now, let me stop.
I thought you were going to go in.
I don't even know what I mean. It's nice outside. I know that much. It's not that cold, so that's a good thing. But I can't tell you the temperature. But
I see
yes, what's
an
up?
ass
What's
whooping
up?
in the forecast.
Um, yes, and tonight we have our guest. You want to introduce yourself for the people? For the people.
The people. Oh.
Oh, is he
Travis.
back already?
Travis is
Oh
here.
yeah.
Apologies, I was in there getting some more ice water. That shit good.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know.
No, somebody up here is yelling.
Yeah, I heard that.
I think she calling one of y'all.
She called. What's her name? Rashad. Rashad went down here.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, everything is spelled correctly.
Yes. Oh damn! It's March. I'm about to put. I was trying to put the date on here. I was about to put February, and I did it again.
It's okay. We're not judging you, baby.
It is. It's March the 6th.
Magical moments.
All right. So tonight we are talking about the unrest in the Ukraine. Okay. So
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about the current war between Russia and Ukraine. So I know a lot of people are following it. A lot of people are actually affected by it, believe it or not. Um, I do want to try to give an explanation of exactly why they are at war. I mean, you guys can still hear me, right?
oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I had my other phone for some reason got screen time, which I'm gonna call Apple and curse them out, so I can't even use that phone. But I'm gonna read something that basically explains the main reason why they are at war, so that this way it kind of makes sense. Okay,
Yes, because this
so
is years in the making, correct?
yep. So basically, and it's interesting because if you ever met anyone from Ukraine, a lot of the time they speak Russian, and that's because they're really like it's just like sister countries like the Dominican Republic and Haiti. You know how
Mm-hmm.
Dominican Republic speaks Spanish and Haiti speaks Haitian Creole. So yeah. So what it says is that the best explanation that will make sense to us all. Okay, so the Ukraine and Russia crisis in simple terms for those that have no idea what is going on. So Ukraine used to be in an abusive relationship with Russia, feeding him, letting him use her car, and giving him whatever he asked for until she built up the confidence to call it quits back in 1991.
So Russia is
Since
Jody.
then, right. Since then, Ukraine has been working on herself, becoming a strong, independent woman with help from friends like their allies, which would be France, America, Poland, etc., offering her support, loaning her money, and helping her find her way. Ukraine has been enjoying being single for 30 years and looking forward to continuing to grow and create new friendships. Now, Russia, being the toxic ex that is, wants her back and doesn't want her meeting new people or creating any new relationships. A couple of weeks ago, Russia started sitting in front of Ukraine's house, and when her friends asked him what was he doing there, he said, "Oh, nothing, just getting a little bit of exercise in, that's all." After her friends told Russia that was potentially getting ready to do oh, after her friends told her that Russia was potentially getting ready to do something bad to her, he said, "They're lying. They just want you to be scared of me, and that's not what it is." So, shortly after that, Russia broke into Ukraine's house, beating her up and taking advantage of her while on live stream, and double dog daring any of her friends to do something about it. And if they do, they want the smoke. Russia got that gang on him. So basically, Russia is pretty much being a bully, which isn't right. as far as, you know, morally and ethically or whatever you want to say. It's not right. But also what I do want to talk about is why is these fucking Ukraine people being so racist to the blacks that are there? Because there are some Africans that are there, black Africans that are there that was trying to leave because of the war. There's also a group of Jamaicans that were there. And they wanted to leave because who the hell wants to be in the middle of a fucking war? That's not even their people. They don't got nothing to do with that. So they was like, okay, we want to try to make our way back home or to another place that's not having a war. So in the midst of everybody trying to escape that, you know, that does not want to be in the war, that's not prepared to fight in no war or doesn't want to fight for whatever reason, they had the option to like use buses and trains to be able to leave the territory. For some reason, they were purposely saying, oh, if you're not Ukrainian, then you can't get on this bus. They were pushing them off, blocking them off, barricading them, threatening to shoot them. There was an article on Yahoo the other day, like they just finally started talking about it. But it's happening. I'm like, I wanted to feel bad for Ukraine and pray for Ukraine. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard to feel bad for somebody that's fucked up deep down inside because they racist same way. You know, it's no escaping this racist ass bullshit, unfortunately.
So it switched from pray for Ukraine to pray for the Africans in Ukraine.
Right. Just pray for the black people, because at the end of the day, the way how I feel, and I'm not gonna be sitting here praying for y'all, and at the end of the day, y'all don't even give a fuck about people of my color. Like what? Like how am I gonna be helping y'all? They be like, oh, donate. I was really considering it, but now that I'm glad we have social media, because if we did not have social media, there's a lot of stuff that we would not have known.
You won't be getting my money.
I'm like, it's not right that what's happening to them, but it's also not right what the hell y'all doing to us black people. It should be a first come, first served basis on who they letting on those buses. They pull black people off.
How the hell are you the bitch in a relationship and you're getting invaded, but you still racist? You know that
exactly.
That shit reminds me of when I was working at the nursing home, and these are 80, 90-year-old people who have dementia, can't even remember their own fucking name,
but can remember to call you a nigga.
Yes.
Can remember to say you black bastard, you just anything you can think of, but y'all motherfuckers, y'all will never forget that. One lady used to come in there and tell us, I don't want these nigresses cooking my food and all this other shit. Like, I love that word, nigresses.
Bitch, you get poison out this bitch.
No poison. Let the bitch lay in her filth, because that's what she is at that point. Use the language like that. You know, and it's not that we don't have sympathy and empathy, but don't expect us to be foolish with what the fuck we do with our energy. Y'all know black people have the most energy. We might be the minority, but we give the most power. Let's not kid around about that. Let's not kid around about that.
But I'm glad, like, you know, they said they went to, a couple of them made it to Romania. Or is it Romania? I think that's what it was.
Romania,
but they was
Poland.
They said in Romania that there was this video, this girl was saying how they are really treating them really, really good, like making sure they get food, you know. And she was like, it's sad because it's the white Romanians. You know, she's like, she's sure there's black people there too, but she was like, it's the white ones that's taking care of them. And she's like, it would be nice to see more black people coming out and helping. I'm like, that's another thing. Sometimes we don't even help ourselves, but I'm just glad that they found somewhere where they're being accepted and they're being treated good, you know?
Karma's a bitch. So. It works both ways.
Okay.
Yep. Did you have any thing that you wanted to share, like any documents, any footage, any videos?
Just the footage of the Ukraine under attack. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we can get into why in the hell is this affecting our gas prices? Because I'm still trying to.
It's. Do we have a guest that wants to come closer to the mic so we can hear?
You want to come to the microphone, sir? You got something you want to share? You educated? Bring your ass over here.
That's what I'm saying. He knows something we don't know.
I'm sitting here reading. It says that Indian and African students fleeing Ukraine say they face racism. So it ain't just black.
Oh yeah, there was other people. Yeah, I heard there was some Asian people, some Indian people, anybody that basically wasn't from Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad.
All right, so you're gonna You're gonna pull up
Chef
the
Boyardee.
video?
Go ahead and eat it, child. I would. If you hungry, go ahead and eat it.
What?
He was asking if the Chef Boyardee was yours. I told him to go ahead and eat it.
Oh, he can't wait for dinner?
No, I think he only, what you eat today besides that? Just the biscuit. He only had that biscuit that was in the microwave.
Oh my Lord.
And that was sitting in there since this morning, or last night actually.
I don't know why I'm acting like I don't forget how to use this motherfucker. Hold on.
I know, it ain't been that long.
Exactly.
I'm sorry I missed the last live. I was in the process of moving to Tampa, but I'm back.
Duh.
I need to go to Florida to visit. I've never been there. How far is Tampa from Miami?
About 3 hours.
Oh, hell no.
And
Well,
that's
I
right
don't
with
really
a
want
crackhead.
I don't really want to go to Miami because I heard like Miami is crazy. I just want to go to Florida in general because
Miami is a whole damn mess.
Miami's like Florida's Atlanta. I'll put it that way.
Hell yeah, because every year during spring break, you always see them damn videos of niggas vacationing down in Miami, going all the way down to Miami just to fight.
That's it.
Fighting at the gas station, fighting at the club, fighting at the strip club, fighting in the middle of the street.
What they don't tell you about Miami is it's not segregated to say, but it is. There's social racism there. Like how much you got. If you ain't got a lot, don't talk to me. You know, and they will fight you on sight. Them Puerto Rican, Spanish people, and white people that do not fuck around. They will fight you.
Hell yeah. And Miami is really hood
as hell.
Because I know there's like Miami Beach and South Beach, but I think you go over a couple of bridges and you cross into Opa-lawka, you'll get shot.
With a name like Opa-lawka, I believe it.
Yeah, but let's get into these footages. Everybody mute yourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
Tonight, hear what Ian Panel and our team discovered at a children's hospital in Kyiv. Young patients hiding underground for their own safety. Ian Panel leading us off again tonight from Kyiv.
Tonight, Russia intensifying its invasion, increasingly hitting civilian as well as military targets, striking an ammunition dump outside Kharkiv, seen in images posted on social media. And a battle now raging for control of the country's second largest city. Once again, Russia hitting civilian sites, striking the city's university. Over 2,000 people have been killed throughout the country since the Russian invasion began a week ago, according to Ukrainian officials.
These aren't military targets. They are places where civilians work and families live. This is shameful.
And Russia revealing its losses for the first time. Tonight saying at least 498 of its soldiers have died and nearly 1,600 have been injured. Ukrainian officials say the real number is much higher. Western intelligence sources say Russia appears to have surrounded 5 major Ukrainian cities, including Kharkiv. There are multiple reports that the Russians have taken Kherson in the south, which, if confirmed, will be the largest Ukrainian city to fall. But the Pentagon today saying that the massive Russian convoy bearing down on Kyiv appears to have ground to a halt about 70 miles north of the capital.
The northern push by the Russians down towards the south, towards Kyiv, remains stalled.
Pentagon officials say they believe stiff Ukrainian resistance, including attacks on advancing Russian columns, have combined with shortages of food and fuel to halt the convoy, at least for the time being. Meanwhile, Ukraine's sending a delegation to meet with the Russians today for a second round of talks. But hopes of a breakthrough are low. And on the ground, Ukrainian defiance of the Russian occupation is growing. Videos circulating online show hundreds of people blocking the road to the country's largest nuclear facility located in the south. Plant officials denying claims by Russia that its troops now control the facility. But the Russians do control Chernobyl. And the UN's nuclear watchdog groups are raising the alarm that for the first time, nuclear facilities are caught in the middle of a modern military conflict. President Biden today saying they're monitoring Russian tactics for possible war crimes.
intentionally targeting civilian areas. There are over 2,000 civilian deaths. There they are. Thank you.
In the State of the Union speech last night, Biden welcomed
He's intentionally targeting civilian areas. There are over 2,000 civilian deaths. There they are. Thank you.
In the State of the Union speech last night, Biden welcomed the Ukrainian ambassador and praised her country's heroism.
Ukrainian ambassador of the United States is here tonight, sitting with the First Lady. Let each of us, if you're able to stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world of Ukraine. Thank you.
Biden vowing to keep up the economic and political pressure on Putin.
He has no idea what's coming.
At the UN today, the General Assembly condemning Russia's invasion in an historic 141-5 vote. Russia isolated, with even allies like Cuba and Iran abstaining. UN officials now say the fighting's forced more than 1 million refugees from the country and predict many more are likely to leave as the Russian onslaught continues. The Kremlin claims it'll allow citizens to flee besieged cities, including Kyiv. But here in the capital, there are many who have no choice but to stay. This is the biggest children's hospital in Ukraine, where medics and staff now risk their own lives to care for more than 190 desperately sick kids here. We're inside the main children's hospital, not just for Kiev, but for the entire country. And the reason we're heading down this passage and underground is because that's where the patients, the children, some of whom are on chemotherapy, have been moved for their own safety. Since the war began, many of them are now on gurneys, hiding underground in the basement, like little Yarek, who has fluid on his brain. And Ilya, whose dad cares for her, while his wife and other kids are hiding near the front lines.
It must be harder down here.
Valentin says, of course it's harder down here, but what can we do? We won't give up, though. We'll fight to the last. And it's not just the sick, but the wounded here, too. 13-year-old Vova was badly injured when the family car came under attack. His father and cousin were killed, and he now fights for his life in intensive care. His mother agreed to let us film because so many here want the world to see what has become of their children.
My emotion, I believe in victory. I believe in maybe in future, tomorrow, maybe next week or next month, I see some in our clinic.
An extraordinary scene unfolding for these families and these youngest of patients already going through what they're going through with their health and now having to hide in the basements.
Oh, Lord.
That was just an update of what's going on.
That's rough.
Now, but apparently, Vladimir Putin called on the Ukraine to surrender. I think this is just my opinion. I don't really know what they're really going to take for the whole country to surrender. But I think, if or when they catch the president of Ukraine, because he already, made it clear that he has no problem going down with and for his country. I think when they finally catch the president of Ukraine, that's when they'll, that's the actual surrender point. I actually, to tell you the truth, I haven't heard from anything from the president. Let me look that up.
I haven't heard. I have. They don't talk about it. He hasn't said anything.
The Russian president?
Yeah, no, the Ukrainian president.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I hope he's not hiding. He said if they want him, they can come find him. It's like a captain with the ship. If my ship is going down, I'm going down with it, but I ain't going down without a fight.
No, he actually, there was a video where they was trying to say how the Ukrainian president was hiding, and they actually made a video, and it was, there was a video going around, and he was like, I'm not hiding, I'm right here, whatever the case is.
Apparently he was on a Zoom call. Let me share this.
He's talking about the Russia's military chef promised a quick victory in Ukraine, but now he's facing a potential quagmire. Yeah, no. Like, how could you?
Okay, Zelensky doing Zoom call faces backlash. So, what's this Zoom call about? A presentation of that of Ukrainian president. Oh Lord, I'm gonna butcher
Volodymyr
Volodymyr
Zelensky.
Zelensky. Okay.
Mhm.
Gabe.
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Shit.
A presentation that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave to U.S. lawmakers on Saturday led to some criticism of the attendees, with 3 senators seen as committing miscues during the talk. Shortly after the meeting began, Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican representing Florida, and Senator Steve Daines, a Republican from Montana, shared images of Zelensky on a Zoom call. The posting of the images was met with swift backlash and questions about whether Zelensky's safety and location had been compromised, as other lawmakers in attendance said they had specifically been asked not to share information publicly during the call. So basically, they're trying to keep it hush-hush, but you can't hush this up. It's international. I mean, we're never going to hear those phone calls, not from another company unless they give permission.
Intentionally asked each of us on the Zoom to not share anything on social media during the meeting to protect the security of the president. Appalling and reckless. Oh, so they both shared it. Ew, after he asked them not to. Why? Why the fuck? Why would they do that?
Wait, repeat that. I'm kind of lost in the sauce. So what's going on?
So the president of the Ukraine was on a Zoom call with 2 senators from the U.S., one from Montana and one from Florida. So he asked them, the president of Ukraine asked them not to, share the fact that they're on a Zoom call because it's, a security issue.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it.
Hold on, don't they sound like that guy from Tinder? What is the Tinder swindler? Oh, I can't know security issues. Nah.
Oh, yeah. But at least we know who the president of Ukraine's enemies are. The Tinder swindler. He was just my enemy. My enemies are after me.
Yeah. Oh, wait, real quick sidebar. Did you see? They said that the real whoever he was pretending is suing him for impersonating him. The Tinder swindler is getting sued, and I'm like, it's crazy because they let his ass out of jail. Now he's getting sued.
That's what he did.
Yeah, he was acting like that he's the son of a billionaire diamond trader or some shit like that.
Yep.
And they're like, we don't know this motherfucker, and we don't like our name being brought into this shit. So they're suing him.
He clearly didn't think that all the way through with his dumb ass.
My enemies are after me. I can't. Yo, where was he from though? Because he did have the accent though.
Iran? He was from Iran or something?
He was?
Yeah. He was Iranian.
Interesting. But yes. All I know he's had on. Anyways, that was just a sidebar and a little update since we talked about that Tinder swindler, whatever that shit was. But yeah, okay. So basically they was on a Zoom call. I get why he would say, keep it private because again, I'm guessing, honestly, if you know that Russia is basically, I'm sure everybody at this point is trying to protect themselves except for the people that's brave enough to defend their country. So, yeah.
Yes, but the country needs a president. So if the country doesn't have a president and Russia catches up with him at the location where he is, then I do think that'll just be it. Let me see if there's anything else left on this article. Ukraine urges U.S. to send warplanes to Poland and other allies. Okay. So the U.S. was talking to the president of the Ukraine wherever the hell he is, he has an internet connection and he's able to talk to other countries like us. But didn't what the fuck are they doing? What is that?
Probably microwaving the cat.
Oh shit.
I thought that was the fire. Not
He
the
said,
fire.
"Don't give him no ideas."
You like, I don't know.
I thought
The
that
cat kind of quiet too. Y'all better go check on that poor kitty cat.
My bad. I thought that was the smoke alarm.
What was it though?
What was that, Travis?
It's the microwave.
That's what
Okay.
I thought. See, my kitty instincts was telling me had something to do with a microwave.
But Zelensky was speaking to more than 300 members of Congress, imploring them to ban the importance of Russian oil, and we're going to get into the gas prices later, and to send more jets to his country. According to lawmakers on the call, the meeting conducted via Zoom was the first time Zelensky had addressed both houses of Congress since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. A statement from Rubio spokesperson Dan Holler said that there was no identifying information in the image. There were over 160 members of Congress on a widely reported Zoom call. There was no identifying information of any kind. Anybody pretending this tweet is a security concern is a partisan seeking clicks. Okay. All right, that was it.
So basically,
I guess the goal for the military of the Ukraine is to keep him as safe as possible for as long as possible.
I guess it's with the president, right?
Huh?
You talking about the president of the Ukraine?
Of the Ukraine, yes.
Yeah, because the thing about it is that with the president is supposed to be the one that calls the shots, that gives the orders. Because what happens is without the actual president being alive, I think that it would cause more chaos. But then again, you have to keep in mind, remember when Texas had that shit where the weather was really bad and it was cold and all of these.
That was an actual fucking vortex.
And the government, what was it? The governor or something had him and his family. And mind you, he done told them not to go nowhere or not to travel or some shit. He done flew his family out to some warm ass climate. Remember, it was a big thing.
Yes.
That's what they be doing though, those government officials. Like when they under pressure and they sitting there and they don't want to basically suffer, or they don't want to suffer, or they don't want to put their family lives at risk, or whatever the case is. I'm like, it's wrong. But at the end of the day, if the government officials that calls all the shots, that could probably give them the best plan on how to move forward forward. If they drop out, if they die, it's going to be more chaos. At least that's how I see it. So it's a selfish thing. But then again, if the president ain't alive, who's going to orchestrate everything? But hey.
Well, let's get into these gas prices. Let me see.
I heard that a lot of. Did you go on Google? I think you should go on Google.
I'm on Google.
And then type in, why are the gas prices so high? But I heard, because it's not only the United States that's being affected, because in other places, in Jamaica, other places, their oil is being affected too. And I heard it's because I believe we get a good supply of our oil from Russia. But if we basically are allies with the Ukraine and Russia is the one providing oil, yeah, they're going to tax the fuck out of us.
So apparently this is the highest it's been since Hurricane Katrina. Damn, Hurricane Katrina was what, 17 years ago? 17 years this August. God damn.
My birthday.
Oh yeah, that did happen around your birthday, didn't it?
Wait, what was that, 2005?
2005.
I remember because that was the year we had moved to North Carolina, and that was my first year at West Meck. And I remember we had a lot of people from Louisiana, like new students. Did you have any of those? Those people that
that were
North Carolina. Yeah, a lot of them came to North Carolina.
Gas prices are surging at pace drivers haven't seen since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. The national average price for a gallon of regular gas stood at $3.84 on Friday, and that's how much it is here around the fucking corner at the Circle K. Oh Lord. According to AAA, that is the highest price in September 2012 and 11 cents higher than Thursday. Goddamn, who else want to read?
I got you. Where you stop at? Okay. Gas prices have soared 18 cents since Wednesday and 29 cents since Russia's invasion of Ukraine 8 days ago. Each of those increases marks the largest price hike since Hurricane Katrina slammed into the U.S. Gulf Coast in 2005, devastating the nation's oil and gas industry. According to the Oil Price Information Service, which collects data from 140,000 gas stations nationwide for AAA's price averages. With prices rising so rapidly, a national average of $4 a gallon. Hold on, an ad popped up. Yeah. National average of $4 a gallon, as well as record $4.11, which is $4.11, set in 2008, will probably be reached soon.
Whew.
This is not the end of it.
Gas is $7 in Los Angeles. Yeah. In Los Angeles, it's $7 a gallon.
Did I pass it? Oh yeah, out in it is horrible in California.
So for you Californians out there, we with you.
Yeah, New York is $5 a gallon right now.
This is not the end of it. We're already up another 14 cents on wholesale gas prices this morning. Global head of security analysis, man, what the fuck? He said the wholesale gas price increases are likely to be passed onto consumers in short order. It's absolutely out of control, he said. The average price a year ago was $2.75 a gallon. Oh, I can only dream of paying $2.75 a gallon. As prices are still recovering from the plunge that occurred early in the pandemic, gas prices did go down during the pandemic, didn't it?
They did, yes. They went down almost $2 in some places.
Shit. Hey, somebody need to go and call for President Biden, see what the fuck going on.
President Biden can't get me, babies. I take public transportation. Hallelujah.
Yeah, but won't that be affected next? Because damn, remember when the bus used to be $1.75?
Yes. Yes.
How much are the buses now?
Shit, I remember when the Easy Rider, the little village buses, the Easy Rider, the 235 and the 222 and all that shit.
Ma'am, you telling our age. You telling all our ages.
That shit used to be 50 fucking cents. 50 cents just to go across the neighborhood, my bro.
Every nigga was on the bus. Everybody.
Oh my God. Oh, those were the good old days. We really took that shit for granted.
R.I.P.
Home orders and businesses shut down / demand for gasoline. An average household uses 90 gallons a month.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I can imagine how much we all spend in this household, like right here.
What on gas?
On gas, because when I bought my Toyota back at the beginning of the pandemic, near the beginning, July 2020, it cost $20 to fill that bitch up.
Now how much it costs?
So now with my new car, it's supposed to cost between 20 and 30, depending on where I go. But now it's 60 just to get filled up.
And that's crazy because with my SUV before, when the gas prices were low, it took $70 to fill up my shit. And I don't even want to know how much it's going to cost now because for one, I don't go nowhere because I work from home. I move my vehicle maybe like once a week, maybe twice a week if I have to, but normally once a week. But damn, if I was paying $70 to fill my shit when gas was like $2 a gallon, imagine it's gonna be what, $140 now? That's not, no, thank you. I'll stay home.
Mind you, I still haven't filled up my tank since I bought that car. Since I bought the new car, I still haven't filled it up. because I'm thinking I'm doing something. When I went to the Circle K, I think it was last week or the week before, I was like, yeah, let me put this on $30 in. And then when I get in the car and start my shit, that shit was less than halfway. I said, what the fuck? Where's all the money I put in this bitch?
It's almost like, you know, if you're going to increase my price to live in the place and also increase my square footage, I need more space, bitch. You want $50 extra on my rent, then I need 50 more inches of square feet of space.
And I need a raise because Charlotte, like, it's crazy. Like the rent, everything. Yo, they gave us all that goddamn stimulus money, and the prices of everything went up. Gas.
Let me tell you what that is. Just because we got
rent.
so many transplants here, everybody's moving from New York, Ohio, California. You know, it's like they're paying. It's ridiculous.
Here we full. Just like Atlanta say they full, we full. Charlotte's getting full.
We're closed for business.
Charlotte is getting full, and a lot of this shit, this crime also that is happening, it's a lot of niggas that are coming in from out of town, especially them dusty ass niggas from Gastonia.
I can't. You gonna get somebody in the comment section? Yeah, I'm from the gas house. What's up? It's getting crazy out here, but keep in mind, all this makes sense when you think about it from this perspective. This is all written in prophecy. That all this shit is supposed to happen. Every bit of it. Gas prices, countries fighting each other. This shit, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna be darkest before dawn.
All this fucking calamity, because I remember when there was a gas shortage. What was that? 2009. What year? What do you? Oh yeah, yep, 2009. And I remember people were waiting in line to get gas.
Oh my God. Yes.
And one person, guy worked at the gas station, and you can tell how old this story is, but he was changing the gas prices as people were waiting. So when he was changing the gas prices and he was charging more for gas, the people started, they got out their cars and started whipping his ass.
They did physically assault him.
Yes.
But a lot of people was getting in trouble, right?
Huh?
A lot of people are getting in trouble for overcharging on gas, right? More than a certain amount.
Yeah, but you only heard about it for like a month, and then they stopped talking about it.
I haven't heard that before. What the fuck?
Yeah, it made some head. That's why you probably haven't heard about it. They literally broadcasted it and then kind of pulled it because they know that shit is people panicking everywhere. People are panicking, and it's the one place in the world that's gonna panic the most is exactly where the fuck we live at in America. Because these people here have no common sense anyway. So when shit hit the fan, the proverbial shit hits the fan, people just do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And don't care who they hurt in the process, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally. And then just think about all the kids that were born after COVID, that's gonna be born after COVID.
Oh yeah, they won't know none of.
No, they won't. And their pandemic's gonna be worse than the one we're going through now when they reach our age or get in their 20s, because this shit ain't done. I'm over it already, but it ain't done.
Oh yeah, me too. Because oh my God,
and this is our generation's first true pandemic.
And just the price of everything is going up, and that's why we didn't have any fucking hot wings tonight for dinner, because I went to Harris Teeter and that shit was $25 a pack. I turned my ass around so goddamn fast.
You did
that. That shit said $25 for a family pack of wings. I said I don't need hot wings that fucking bad.
And that's my thing. Our response to a crisis here in America is to raise the prices of everything, the cost of living, gas, travel. And it's just like, and then you tell people, oh yeah, you can make $850 and 40 hours a week and get a place. Bitch, not with these gas prices.
Shit, not with this rent price.
Yeah, not with
this. And then you have to make 3 times the. Who the hell you don't make 3 times the rent unless they scamming?
Thank you. And you know them niggas ain't. You know them motherfuckers that's telling you that they definitely not making 3 times the rent. So where you living at, in the cardboard box on North Tryon?
I seen that shit on Instagram. Somebody from the Scorpion show. He was like, the bitches that work in the leasing office don't make 3 times the rent. So how the fuck y'all gonna charge us? Tell us to make 3 times the rent just to apply. The fuck?
It's almost like you have to find a private company that is willing to work with you. But the problem with that is you're gonna be, if it's a private company, they have the option to fuck you over, and then there's no evidence that they did it. Because most, because you got to rent from the right people. If there's no receipts and you just paying cash, you screwed. And if that shit go to court, the judge's gonna be like, well, you chose to pay, you an agreement, verbal or otherwise. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're not really caught in between. You're either completely screwed or you got it good.
I'd be damned, because I know how to pay for some check stubs. So fuck that shit.
You don't announce it on here. She was just joking, no. She was just joking.
I'll be checking it up, and I'll get me a credit privacy number to protect my identity. Look, that bullshit system is making niggas so resourceful, and we have really been for so many fucking years.
Yes, it's not that it's making us resourceful. We always been resourceful. We're the most diverse as fuck and multi-talented out the ass, which is why we have haters. Let's be honest about that. And we gonna survive. Come on now, y'all did this for 500 years and we still kicking and out here talking shit. We ain't going nowhere. The first will be the last. Trust and believe that.
Hell yeah. But yeah, when you get increases this quick and this dramatic, you scald the public. Scald the public with the
literally.
California statewide average jumped 13 cents overnight to $5.77 a gallon, making it the first state ever to have an average over $5 a gallon. Oof.
Shit is sad. It's sad. It's so whack.
So let me continue. There are now 9 states: California, Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii is already expensive. Hawaii, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Illinois, New York, and Pennsylvania, where the average price was already over $4 a gallon, with New York and Pennsylvania crossing the $4 mark with the last reading. 2 more states, Arizona and Connecticut, as well as DC, are only pennies away that $4 average, and we're not far behind, because it really is $3.84 now. The moment I see $3.90 for some gas,
it's a
walking to work. I'm gonna lose so much fucking weight. I'm gonna start walking to work. Fuck that shit.
And all I can think about is just looking out of the window, watching them gas prices go.
The average price a gallon of diesel. Who the fuck pays for diesel?
Truckers.
Yes. It hit $4 this past weekend, while relatively few U.S. passenger cars use diesel. Virtually all trucks depend on it. All large trucks depend on it. And most trucking companies have a schedule of fuel surcharges that are based on average prices, meaning that most of the transporting all the goods, all the truckers that have to deliver shit to Walmart and all the shit that we need, almost all goods is increasing for businesses at a cost increase that is also likely to be passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices.
I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So the pricing, like I said, even the pricing on food went up.
Food.
They was talking about, like, last Thanksgiving, the prices of turkeys, and they was saying how turkeys was expensive. Like, everything has been on the rise since, like, last year around September, October is when people started noticing it.
I didn't even fucking bother to buy a turkey. If anything, and this is what a lot of people need to start doing, do not be ashamed to go to a food pantry. Do not. Because a lot of organizations, they have money, they want to help out. Second Harvest Food Bank, they want to help out churches who give away food a couple of times a week, periodically, whatever. If you need to, just to save money on your groceries, go to a food pantry. It ain't gonna hurt to eat some government cheese. Y'all will be all right. Shit.
Girl.
Shit, so.
My thing with me is that I, like, for one, like, I work. I don't be having no time to go nowhere. 2, I don't like going nowhere. I even order my groceries online. It's sad, right? I do the Amazon Fresh and then
I
Walmart
do too.
grocery.
I
The
do too.
Walmart grocery delivery. I don't even want to go. Like, even it's, before COVID, I was so happy when Walmart came out with the curbside pickup. Like, you go, you order your groceries, they bring it out to your car. This was something I was doing from before COVID. I was so glad when I realized I did not have to shop inside the store. So if I could stay home, I'm staying home.
Yeah, I was already using Amazon Fresh for the past few years. Even I remember when they started Amazon Fresh.
I actually just learned about that. I knew about the Walmart thing. Yeah, I knew about the
Girl, I was
Walmart
using
thing.
that shit, especially because when I didn't have a car and I didn't want to lug all those groceries home on the bus, or when I didn't have money for a cab, that's where Amazon came in. So I just, worked my butt to where, because I would price compare Amazon with Walmart or Food Line or wherever I would go. And everything would be about the same. They have their little deals or whatever, but it just depends it just depends.
I think Walmart is cheaper, honestly. But one thing I'm gonna say with Amazon Fresh is that, like, a lot of the time Walmart will not have something, then you'll have to quote unquote substitute. So but Amazon normally, if they selling it, they have it.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
I'll find some stuff that just isn't in the stores on Amazon, like my Haagen-Dazs ice cream that I be loving. I don't see that in the store, the type of flavor that I want. But anyway, so yeah, back to these prices and shit. So I'm still having trouble making the correlation between the gas prices in Russia and the Ukraine. Are we getting our oil from Russia?
Let me see. That's what I'm gonna look up. Why are gas prices increasing? Let me see what it has to say. When is this? February 23rd? It says, let's see if this gives a good explanation. Gasoline and jet fuel prices have reached their highest level since 2014. Wait, is this what you were reading earlier? Fuel prices have reached their highest level since 2014. Rising oil prices alone can account for nearly 30% of the excess inflation in the United States has seen since the pandemic began. Okay, but why is it happening? Okay,
Exactly.
hold on. Let me see. This one says, yo, this time limit shit is pissing me off. Okay. This says, what were you reading from? That wasn't the Washington Post, was it?
I think that was CNN. Yep, CNN from 2 days ago.
Okay. So this says U.S. gas prices are rising at fastest pace ever as Russia intensifies invasion of Ukraine, AAA says. Okay.
I was about to say gas prices were going up even before.
Oh, here's a good explanation. It says U.S. gas prices are rising at a record pace as Western sanctions on Russia's financial and shipping industry cut off oil supplies from global markets and refineries struggles to keep up with the surging demand.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So basically, it has something to do, like, Russia controls, I'm sure, some part of the oil shit, like, from what I understand. Oh yeah, did you hear that the United States, basically, they did step in and to kind of quote unquote help Ukraine. They cut off, they blocked all Russian accounts.
So they blocked Russia in financial state, just financially. But you know what? The way I was hearing this shit explained, my yawning. The way I was hearing this shit explained is the Russia is such a bad bitch. They knew that at some point they were going to invade Ukraine. And they knew that invading in Ukraine was going to cause the U.S. to turn off its sanctions. So Russia already has billions and billions and billions of its own money and its own resources. Russia has its own internet. I had no idea.
They do?
So,
What, meaning what?
huh?
Like when you say their own internet, what do you mean?
They have their own network. Like they're not using AT&T and they're
Well, yeah, because like for example, in Jamaica, they don't even have like how we have Spectrum. Is that what you mean?
yeah, they're not using no fucking Spectrum. So
Yeah, Jamaicans don't like. I think everywhere you go, even like for example, New York for our gas company, we use Con Edison, and then in North Carolina is Duke Energy. Wait, electric? Is it? Yeah, electric. I said gas, electric. So everywhere you go, like whether it's from state to state, country to country, because even like Spectrum, at one point, Time Warner, which is now Spectrum, they weren't like an international thing. It'll be some places that had it and some places that don't. But they use, I'm sure they have their own internet provider and services out there. Because even in Jamaica, they do. They have different companies.
So Russia is already prepared. They prepare for whatever we're going to throw at them. Like, I don't think anybody realizes how huge Russia is.
You know what's crazy? It was this video where they were like, how a lot of people think Russia is like far from the United States. But in all reality, Russia is literally like right next door. Because if you think about it, the world is in a circle. They far from us because we're quote unquote on the East Coast. But if you're in California, they're not that far because they're closer to like, you have to see, I got to find the video for it to make sense.
I'm just glad that you didn't say that the globe or the world, or Earth is shaped like a damn square.
It's crazy because a lot of people were saying how if people who believe that the world is quote unquote flat, if they see if they basically view how if you view the setup of it, I gotta find this video because it's hard to explain.
Oh yeah.
But basically on the East Coast, like for us to get to California, that's a long ways. Like, cause we're on the East Coast. But basically when you're coming from the West Coast, like you're closer to China, if you're on that side, because you know how the world is just the whole circle. So it's like you'll circle back around and then basically they're closer to that side based off of the fact of how the world is shaped. Listen, my explanations be shitty, but trust me, it's gonna make sense. I gotta go to my archives.
Especially in the future when shit really starts to hit the fan. Oh my gosh.
Yo, Alexis.
Huh?
My charger's upstairs. Can I come get it?
No, you cannot. You need to go upstairs and knock on her door and ask her that again.
It's up here in the wall, Weenie. Oh, come on up.
Yo, wait, thought you was gonna say no?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I can hear him stomping upstairs now.
Okay, let me find this thing that I'm talking about because I want to. No, I still so much.
In the house or is he still in the bathroom?
I still in the bathroom.
You didn't see where he was? Okay.
I found it.
Okay, good.
Now I'm gonna send this to you so you can share this.
No, we are used to.
So I could sound a little like I make some sense.
Where it seems like they are far.
Okay, boom. Can you screen share that?
Hold on. Instagram.
Oh yeah, Alexa, I found the Type-C Android charger. I don't know if it's yours or not.
It's mine.
I don't know. You might as well sit in for Travis until he gets back.
What is that Edwin?
No, that's Dondre.
Oh, okay.
That's the baby. Well, the baby inside the house.
Okay.
What is
I
the
thought
youngest?
that
That's
was
why.
what he said.
He's the middle. Well, actually, he's the middle one. Tarisha is the baby, and no, DeMarco was the baby. My bad. Shit. Hold on, I'm about to share my screen.
You know, I did not know Alaska was at the left of Canada. I'm now
Yeah.
looking at this because basically Alaska is U.S. territory, right?
It's a state.
You know, it's crazy because when this video that you're about to show, they basically said if you're standing in certain parts of Alaska, you can actually see certain parts of Russia, which is crazy, right?
That's why when what's her name, Sarah Palin, she was being joked about because she said some shit at a press conference. I can see Russia from my backyard. So if you can see Russia from Alaska, then that should tell these flat earthers that the earth is round, right?
That's crazy. So if you're in California, because I'm really looking at a map right now. If you're in California, you're like just across the water from fucking Japan. Like, you know, basically, you know, looking at a map, if you go to the left as opposed to going to the right,
Yeah.
Japan is right there. That is crazy.
Okay, so what is this? I'm about to play this. Do you
Okay,
see
yeah,
it?
play that. Yeah, play
How
that.
far is Russia from the USA? Pretty far, right? Well, no. We are used to this map where it seems like they are far apart, but in fact, they are neighbors. The place where I am right now is part of the United States, and it's only 88 kilometers away from Russia. You can literally see Russia from here. This is the state of Alaska. How far is Russia from the USA? Pretty far, right? Well,
Yep, so there you have it. So now y'all get what I was trying to say, right?
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so that's my thing. When this whole shit popped off, and Vladimir Putin, he had warned everybody else, and when I say everybody else, all the other countries, like if you stepped in, there would be grave consequences that you will never forget. And everybody was like, leave Russia the fuck alone. If they want to invade, they can invade all they fucking want to. But and we was looking at Biden like, Biden, we know you can't remember whatever the fuck you had for breakfast this morning, but we're gonna need you to remember that we ain't got shit to do with that shit. You know what? I don't know if I don't know if I asked you to watch Ozark, but there's a character on there named Ruth. And Ruth, she has this one liner that is so fucking hilarious because she doesn't know how to cuss, but she has a country fucking accent. And she says, I don't know shit about fuck. America don't know shit about fuck. So all these sanctions and shit, that's like level 1 shit that Russia was expecting to happen. We don't need to send shit to make it look like we're helping Ukraine. I don't give a fuck how that sounds. We don't need to send any of our people because you remember how everybody was talking about a draft for a couple of days. Yeah, we don't need to send none of that shit. So yeah, especially since they're so fucking close. If they're right there, I would not fuck with a country who has passwords and codes and a big red ass button that can trigger nukes that can take us out.
I'm really just looking at a map. Russia is really, really big. Like Russia
is big as fuck.
If I'm not mistaken, it's probably bigger than the fucking United States. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, they've been here since. Look, Russia been Russia been on it. You know, they fell off when, you know, Anastasia got killed and her family got killed and shit like that. That's still one of my favorite movies. But oh my god, Russia is that bitch. So
Russia is huge. Yeah, it's definitely bigger than the United States. And it's crazy because like Russians are like, they're real bullies. Like real bullies. But and I'm looking at Ukraine. There's other places like Ukraine looks really small, especially compared to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
And, I don't know if this is correct or not, but didn't Ukraine used to be a part of Russia?
The thing is that when you look at it, like you see Russia, like this whole territory is Russia, but then it's like Ukraine, like they're basically like connected on the same piece of land. So I guess it's similar to like the United States and Canada. The only thing is that Ukraine looks a lot smaller than the United States. It looks a lot smaller than Canada. To me, okay, the best way to describe it is like how the US and Mexico, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now that I'm actually looking at a map, getting a full visual. But I don't understand, like, the world, looking at the map this way, it makes me realize the world is big, but it ain't that big.
It really isn't.
It's big, but it really, really ain't that big. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I've never realized Russia was this damn big. Russia is like the size of the Mexico, the US, and Canada put together. That's crazy. Travis ain't come back yet.
Where the hell is Travis?
How big is Russia? It's 6.6. Yep, it's because the Russia is 6.6 million square miles, I believe that is, and the US is 3.7.
Yeah.
So it's like twice as big, basically.
And they're not to be fucked with. That's just my whole point. They're not to be fucked with. Any other insight or any input about the Ukraine and Russia? Because
well, no, all I'm gonna say is that I really hope they get that shit over with soon, because I don't understand what gives anybody the right to feel like, okay, yeah, we want this territory, we're gonna make it ours. Like, I think that's just the whole bullying ass mentality. But then again, it's like Ukraine, they ain't treating Black people right anyway. So it's like that's that. I was gonna say pray for them, but right now I'm just praying that Black people that went there to make a better life for themselves and got caught up in, the crossfire of their war. I just hope they make it out safely at this point.
Oh yeah, and all the Black folks that are over there, Africans, Ukrainians, Black Asian people, of course, they're going to be in our prayers and everything. God, I just hate that they're being turned away from trying to escape. That's some bullshit.
It is. It really is. But I don't understand how come, because now that I've seen a map, I'm like, I don't understand how come they can't just, drive. I guess they probably can't get no rentals, because I'm sure everybody probably renting cars. I mean, if you get a rental, you probably ain't bringing that shit back, because you're about to, and in some places you can't even cross the border with a rental, depending on, how advanced their technology is. But I'm just hoping that they make it out safely, because it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Like, but you heard about that basketball player that is being held in Russian jail for what she had? She had some drug, and I guess they're saying it's illegal. Did you hear about that? Peaches. Can she? Yo. And I can't even go on Facebook on this phone. You heard me?
You can't go on Facebook on that phone.
Oh,
Travis.
That's Travis?
Oh no, that's you. Did you send me some eyes by accident?
Oh, I thought that was Travis. I mean, I thought you said something. No, messaging you. But anyways, what you call? I think we covered everything.
We did, and
And
I'm getting tired, and we still got dinner in the oven, so I need to go down
oh
there.
heck no. Well, good luck with that. Anyways, let's just go ahead and close out for the night.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. This was very informative, and I love trying to getting to understand what's going on in the news, because I watch the news and I won't even follow what the fuck is going on. So
Yeah.
y'all
let's
will
do
tune
the
in
cat trial.
next week or this week, since this is the start of the new week. I should be off this weekend. I hope I'm off this weekend. So either Saturday or Sunday, when Juanita is ready and prepared, we will be back next week. We'll see what type of ratchet news happens between now and Saturday or Sunday.
All right, sounds good.
All right, y'all be blessed, stay black, and fuck the police. And we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.